What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
We good, man. We good. We ready for some Kings basketball. Kings, Lakers. Let's go, Drapes. I'm ready.
Exactly, man. We coming off that triple overtime game last time we saw them.
Yeah.
So here's my question to you guys, though. This is my first real Kings-Lakers home game with fans in the stands, things like what's the vibe going to be like? I better not see 50% LA fans.
Well, close your eyes then, Drapes.
You might want to sit this one out then, JD. No, seriously, Kyle. You won't see 50%. You'll probably see like 65 to 70.
Yeah. That's messed up, man.
It's rough.
It's as to paraphrase Terrence Howard, it's hard out here for a King. Like it's a tough vibe at the Golden One Center right now. But they did play well. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say on the flip side, Kings fans are always turned up and ready to go for their team. They get a little more energized when the Laker fans get in there and the Lakers come to town. So it's gonna be about as electric as an environment as a team that's 8-13 could have. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be a nice night tonight.
No, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it then.
Yeah, it'll be loud no matter what. And it'll inevitably be loud when the Kings start jacking up threes. I'm curious, like you've sat with Matt Barnes, Kenny Thomas. I know you guys have talked about this. Like this is a team, the Sacramento Kings, that are just feels like they're shooting a ton of 3-pointers. Like what do you what do you think as you're sitting there watching them? Buddy checks in, he's going to get that three. They stop moving the ball around. It just kind of circles around the perimeter, and they seem to be riding or dying with that 3-point shot.
No, you're right about that, and the numbers indicate that. And that's the way today's game is played. But the problem with the Kings, and you guys, I think, will agree with this, they have guys that can make threes, but they don't have shooters outside of Buddy Hield. And there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Golden State, you look at some of these other teams out there, even look at the team we're going to face tonight, the Lakers. They surrounded LeBron and them with some guys, Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, who are known more as shooters. Yeah. And so I'm okay with guys like that getting up 8-10 shots a game from three. And I'm okay with Buddy Hield. I mean, that's Buddy's game. And we're going to debate this on the pregame show tonight at 6:30. Who's the most important Kings player? And I could make a case for Buddy Hield because when Buddy's on, that changes everything for this team, I think. And we're going to talk about that later tonight. But no, I agree. They take a lot of threes, and they got guys that can make them, but they don't have shooters. And I think, when you build this roster, if you're Monty McNair, that's probably the next step. Add some shooting to this roster.
So with that, Drapes, myself and Damian, we've talked about, and Damian's asked the question a number of times, if it's not working, shouldn't they be looking to do something a little different, right? Like they're one of they can make threes, but the numbers are saying right now they're just not making them. So do you continue to keep banging your head up against the wall, or do you try to get Marvin Bagley on the block, or run a big to big screen and get Rashawn Holmes something in the middle of the key for a little jump hook? There's got to be some kind of variation when this isn't working, right?
Yeah, but you guys got to realize who's your best big man. Arguably, it's Rashawn Holmes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and what's he missed? The last 3 games or so? Mm-hmm. And so their offense is predicated on Tyrese or De'Aaron Fox getting downhill and either hitting Rashawn Holmes or an open shooter. But when you don't have Rashawn Holmes, who's your best big in that screen and roll game out there, I think that changes a lot. And so I'm not saying Rashawn Holmes is the difference, between a playoff team and not, but, that's your starting center. That's the guy you paid $46 million, and that's a huge part. And you don't have Harrison Barnes either. Come on, man. I'm not even going to talk about the Memphis loss. You're so short-handed the other day. I know y'all might want to bring that up, but
that was nasty, Drapes.
Starters in that game.
That was nasty, Drapes. Come on, man.
Starters, bro. Come on, man.
The Drapes I know would not accept that.
Here's what I won't accept, though. And Kitty, I know you agree with me, and Damian too. De'Aaron Fox has to be better.
Yes, sir.
He got to be better. When you don't have 3 starters, I'm looking at my leader. I'm looking at my guy, De'Aaron Fox, to have one of those games. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he just didn't deliver. And so that's what I want to see. I mean, you shouldn't get ran out of the building
Mm-hmm.
But I could argue that roster that took the floor for Memphis on Sunday is a better roster than the Kings had on Sunday also. But you can't lose in that way, I think. It should be a closer game than that. They were never in that game.
Yeah, that game was over in the first quarter. And we'll stick with De'Aaron since you brought him up and how he has to be better. And you talked about how he's got to be able to kind of guide this team in instances like ones where Rashawn and Harrison and Mo Harkless are out. But I don't feel like in Kyle, I'm curious your opinion on this. I don't feel like De'Aaron has that. I can't figure out the proper way to put that FU gene. Like he just doesn't walk on the court and go, F it, I'm going to do it all myself.
Yeah, and you might be right about that. But we saw him last year. Didn't he look like it a little bit last year?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're talking about a guy averaging 25 points per game. A guy that lit New Orleans up, for 40 on multiple occasions. Where's that big game? Yeah. Sure, he scored 30-something against LA, but he took 32 shots. I want to see that big game where he takes 20 shots, gets to the line 12 times, and you look up and he's got 37 points. And I haven't seen that yet. And I don't know what's going on with De'Aaron. And, some people will say, guys, you're asking too much of him. No, we talked about this last year. If you want to be in the category of Tatum, Mitchell, Bam, some of these other guys in your draft class, you got to show up. This is year 5, man. This is, you're not a young guy anymore. It's time.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, man. Kyle Draper, Kings play-by-play and pregame host. We'll see him tonight. And Kyle, on Wednesday, before Thanksgiving, the Blazers game, it was lit. It was electric. And then Marvin Bagley, a guy that I've been critical of numerous different times, just the way things have gone, not necessarily the man, but the way things have gone, I've been very critical of him. He hits that big 3. You're on the call. The place goes insane when he hits that 3. That was a good moment, man. I enjoyed seeing that from Marvin. Can that performance and then what he did against the Lakers, and we'll forget Memphis for now, okay? But can those 2 games, do you think that can catapult Marvin into being a consistent part of this rotation and being a productive part of this Kings team moving forward?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know what's been going on behind the scenes. But, for him to be buried on the bench to start the season, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, guys. I mean, you're talking about your number 2 pick, the most important season of his career, a contract year. You know what I mean? He's trying to get that extension. And then you open up the season and he's not even in the rotation. And so I wonder now, if I'm Alvin Gentry, am I instilling confidence in Marvin? And am I building Marvin up? Whether to keep or trade, whatever. I don't care. But you need something from Marvin Bagley. You talk about inside-outside big. He's their best inside-outside big that can do it on all 3 levels.
Right.
Talking offensively, Rashawn's not stretching out to the 3. Sure, Alex Len can knock down the 3, but when you're talking the total offensive package, Marvin Bagley is their best big when it comes to that. And so I hope so. What I'm seeing from Marv, though, is encouraging. Look at him going after rebounds the way he's doing it, man. It's just like I see a hunger in his eyes when he's out there. And it may not always be successful. Like I thought when he first started to get minutes, he couldn't knock down a 3. I mean, but these last 2 or 3 games, he's been able to knock it down. And so I think so. I think Marv has to be part of the rotation. But then is Tristan Thompson not out there? Is Alex Len not out there? You got Rashawn Holmes coming back. Damian Jones has been playing well. And so that's the criticism of the roster, right? You got too many bigs. Somebody's going to have to sit. But if I'm the Kings, I'm playing Marvin 20 minutes a night, man, because I know defensively he may have his issues, but the dude looks like he's out there trying. It looks like he's in a good headspace right now. I would like to build him up. I had a theory. So one of my good friends was Josh Childress, former NBA player.
Yeah.
And when he was in Atlanta, I would say, if I'm the coaches in Atlanta, I would take 1 or 2 games to build this dude up. You know what, Josh? This is your night. You're our guy. Just to get him rolling, give him that confidence. Because the long play is then he's feeling good about himself. That never happened. I want to see that here in Sacramento. Marvin, you're our guy now. I'm not going to play you, let's say, 35, 40 minutes, but if you miss a defensive assignment, I'm not going to yank you out. Right. If you go 0 for 5 from 3, I'm not going to pull you out. You're going to still get minutes. Right. And maybe that builds them up. And then, 2-3 weeks down the line, he's good to go and he's rolling.
Yeah. I like that.
You may take some lumps in 1 or 2 games, but you're trying to build something here. And I think Marvin, I mean, you can't just let a number 2 overall pick waste away. You just can't if you're Sacramento.
Yeah. And to that point, Drapes, like you said, they need the guy. To be honest with you, the way the rest of the roster is playing right now,
not like that position is super strong.
Right? Yeah.
KD,
you guys are right. Yeah.
When we hang up, I'm gonna ask you to call your buddy Brad in Boston and just check the temperature on the Jaylen Brown situation. Just see what's just Brad, it's KD. How you doing? Hey, what's going on over there in Boston? And just kind of get a feel for what's going on. Maybe we keep an eye on that situation in Boston.
Me too.
Nah, Brad ain't dealing. You got to deal back at All-Star though. Jaylen Brown's an All-Star fella. Who we giving up?
That's right.
Who we giving up?
I ain't naming no names. I'm gonna ask Brad what he wants, and we'll take it from there.
I'm just asking you to check the temperature because I feel like something might be percolating over there in Boston, and it's our duty to keep an eye on it. That's our job. All.
That's our job.
Exactly. Hey, and they did have interest in our guy HB last season. But here's the thing about Jaylen Brown, guys, real quick. He's perfect for the Sacramento Kings.
Yes.
A dude that's aggressive, hungry, going to come at you. He doesn't take nights off. It may not always be successful. He may go 3 of 13 or something one night. But that dude is coming to bring it every single night, and he's gotten better every single year. And so if you could find a way to bring Jaylen Brown, I think not only on the floor, he's a leader off the court as well. Very involved in multiple causes. I think that would be great. I think it might take a lot, though, man, to get him here.
Yeah, it most definitely will.
Drapes, I'm going to be out there tonight, man. I'm going to come by and say what's up to you, big dog.
You bring a mom tonight, or you coming solo?
No, I'm coming dolo, man. Mom, she always asked Kyle Draper, "Hey, Kyle, what can you do to get Luke out of here?" I was like, "The guy, he's not getting Luke out of here. What's going on?" Chill out, Mom.
I got that. Hey, man, I'm not involved in that. But no, yeah, come holler at me tonight, man. I'll be there.
Katie, always great talking to you, my man. We look forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks for joining us.
All right, fellas. Talk to y'all soon.